From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, January 28th. Some snow we woke up to and some frigid temperatures, feeling below 20 degrees this morning. We will have plenty of sunshine. That's the good news today. Unfortunately, we don't warm up much with highs in the upper 20s and low 30s.
We are taking action to increase supply and increase capacity.
Be ready to wait. That you just heard from Andy Slavitt. He's the senior advisor to the White House COVID-19 response team, and he's calling for patience as new data suggests more Americans are expressing interest in getting the COVID-19 vaccine. A survey from the Kaiser Family Foundation says 47% of people are now ready to get the shot as soon as possible or have already been vaccinated. Last month, 34% said they were ready for the shot. The federal government is promising more doses for Indiana, and more places are giving the shot. Kroger is now taking reservations to get the vaccine. It is only available at select locations, though, 45 Kroger pharmacies in 16 counties. One of those is in Carmel on South Range Line Road, and it's already received a limited supply. The Kroger pharmacies will be following the same guidelines the state has put into place, and the age eligibility guidelines right now, that is 70 and older, including first responders and healthcare workers. If you do not meet the requirements, you will not be able to make a reservation. Officials say they expect to be able to vaccinate a large number of people. Here's a Kroger representative, Eric Halverson.
We're bringing in more and more people as we can to help meet the demand that we know is coming. So that's something we've been anticipating. Even before the shots were available, we had started hiring. So that's a big part of the project right now.
To register for an appointment, head over to wishtv.com and just click on this story. You can find all the info right there. And health officials in Hamilton County are offering some life hacks to avoid frustrations when you look for a vaccine appointment. In a virtual town hall meeting last night, the health department said it's a good idea to check signups at night or on weekends when systems are not as busy. They also urge you to be patient and stay online or on the phone if you're on hold. They do not want you to book times, then look for better ones.
We're seeing that happen a lot where an individual has 5 or 6 appointments because they were shopping for the best vaccine for them.
They say people are failing to cancel the appointments they won't use, preventing others from getting those spots and possibly leading to wasted vaccines. State officials hope to open up eligibility for people 65 to 69 years old within days. And starting next week, coronavirus restrictions loosen across Indiana. The state imposed capacity restrictions on gatherings based on the color of the county on the Department of Health's metric map. Right now, counties in red limit groups to 25 people at the most. Starting Monday, the number changes to a percentage. If your county is in the orange or red, people can gather at 25% capacity at locations. Yellow is 50% and blue is 100%. The county metric map is now mostly orange. 8 counties are under yellow. State leaders say it does take 2 consecutive weeks of improvement to officially move into a less restrictive category. Masks are still required. And the state does confirm more vaccines are on the way. Governor Holcomb says Indiana will get 90,000 doses a week. Now, what you need to know about COVID rash. Local doctors are saying they're seeing it here in Indiana. Doctors at Eskenazi Health say that 1 out of every 10 to 15 people who they treat for COVID-19 also have some sort of a rash. It's another key sign of the virus, and there are 3 main types to look out for.
Number 1 are hives, or the word is urticaria, describes a raised, red, and extremely itchy type of rash. The second is something that looks like chicken pox, but it's not. Some people refer to it as prickly heat. These are small red bumps that occur often on the knees, elbows, sometimes the side of the neck. And then finally, we've seen this thing called COVID toes, which are reddish, bluish discolorations of the toes, typically not super itchy, but they can be.
Doctors say these rashes occur because COVID-19 causes inflammation in your body, and this is just another sign of that happening. It's common when kids get any virus, but in this case, doctors say both children and adults are getting a variety of rashes. People with COVID rash typically have other symptoms as well, like a fever, coughing, shortness of breath. For some people, it can be the only COVID-19 symptom. That's unusual. And while the rash may linger from 2 to 12 days, it usually shows up when you're infected with a virus. The good news is doctors say these rashes are benign and typically can be treated with allergy medicine, antihistamines, and in severe cases, steroids. A Democratic senator is looking at the possibility of censuring former President Trump instead of trying to impeach him. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia has already drafted the resolution. He explained his reasoning after the Senate tabled a vote on the constitutionality of the impeachment trial, where just 5 Republicans voted with Democrats.
The vote on the Paul motion yesterday was completely clarifying that we're not going to get near 67 votes. So I think there's maybe a little more interest now, and could this be an alternative?
A censure would not hold the power of conviction, but it would put the Senate on record as disapproving of Trump's role in the insurrection. A national terrorism bulletin from the Department of Homeland Security is warning of the potential for more political violence. The department's pointing to the Capitol insurrection for the heightened threat level. DHS believes the Capitol chaos could motivate extremists with anti-government feelings to plan more attacks. The bulletin does not mention any specific threats, but suggests the threats will persist for the next several weeks. And another Central Indiana man is accused in the Capitol riots as he turned himself in. Israel Tutro is now in the Marion County Jail. As we've reported, prosecutors say Tutro and Joshua Wagner drove to D.C. for the Trump rally on January 6th, then went inside the Capitol during the insurrection. Both men are facing federal charges for entering a restricted building. The FBI Indianapolis office tells iTeammate that more arrests are coming. Agents say it's in the best interests of those involved to turn themselves in. And today there will be a procedural vote to break a filibuster in the Senate. Senate Republicans are filibustering President Biden's nomination for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. A group of Republican senators argue Mayorkas has not been properly vetted on immigration issues. They want an additional hearing to his nomination. The Senate requires 51 votes to break a filibuster. If the filibuster is broken, a final confirmation vote on his nomination would be Monday evening. South Bend's former mayor is one step closer to a historic cabinet position. The Senate's Commerce Committee approved Pete Buttigieg for Transportation Secretary with a 21-3 vote Wednesday. His nomination is now headed to the full Senate. A date for the confirmation vote hasn't been set. It could happen as early as this week. And if confirmed, Buttigieg will be the first openly gay member of a presidential cabinet. In Pakistan, the country's Supreme Court is ordering the release of a man convicted and later acquitted in the death of an American journalist. Ahmad Saeed Omar Sheikh has been on death row since his conviction in the beheading of Daniel Pearl in 2002. The court also dismissed an appeal of Sheikh's acquittal by Pearl's family. Fiat Chrysler has agreed to plead guilty to corruption charges connected to the United Auto Workers Union as part of a deal with federal prosecutors. The automaker will pay a $30 million fine for giving union leaders millions of dollars in illegal payments. A massive investigation has led to the arrests and convictions of at least 11 UAW members, including former top leaders. The union has since changed its leadership structure and agreed to let an outside monitor watch its finances.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
And after getting the country's attention on the national stage at the inauguration, youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman will be at the Super Bowl. She'll recite an original poem before the big game. Football will not be her focus. Instead, Gorman will highlight the 3 people selected by the NFL as honorary captains for the game. A teacher, a nurse, and a veteran have been picked to participate in the coin toss. The league's commissioner says they are being honored for their community leadership during the pandemic. And make sure you join our sports director, Anthony Calhoun. He'll be in Tampa for the Super Bowl. You can do that. Just watch News 8 live. Coverage starts Sunday evening on Wish TV. As you know, Anthony Calhoun always doing a superb job with his live reports. And a powerful winter storm is threatening the West Coast with flash flooding, mudslides, avalanches. The National Weather Service in Sacramento, California, of course, warns parts of the area will need a yardstick to measure the forecasted snow. The service tweeted out a map of snowfall so far this season, and a blizzard warning is in place for the same areas in the Sierra Nevada mountains that have already gotten 6 to 8 feet of snow. Closer to the coast, the National Weather Service is warning of heavy rainfall that could cause flash flooding. And this morning, Hollywood is mourning the loss of Oscar and Emmy Award-winning actress Cloris Leachman. Leachman's publicist says she died Tuesday of natural causes at her home. She's best known for her roles in The Mary Tyler Moore Show and the movie Young Frankenstein. She was 94 years old. Celebrities are remembering Leachman on Twitter. Actress Linda Carter wrote, "She was a sweet TV mom and a riot to work with." Wanda Sykes calls her the funniest one in the scene. Adam Sandler says, "Such a great lady, loved her, will be missed terribly." And today marks 35 years since the Challenger explosion. In 1986, the space shuttle broke apart 73 seconds into its flight. 7 crew members were killed. NASA plans to pay tribute to the Challenger's crew alongside the crews of Apollo 1 and Space Shuttle Columbia during today's Day of Remembrance. And now to business headlines. The Andretti Group is getting into hydrogen fueling. It's working with a company called PowerTap that provides infrastructure for hydrogen cars like hydrogen fueling stations. PowerTap will install fueling stations at certain Andretti Group properties located in California. Andretti Group Chairman Mario Andretti says they are thrilled to be on the vanguard of new transportation technology. The Small Business Administration's third round of Paycheck Protection Program coronavirus relief lending has steadily grown to top 400,000 loans worth about $35 billion in just its first 2 weeks. This time, the SBA gave a head start to smaller banks and those likely to serve low-income and minority communities. The PPP loans are meant for small businesses that have suffered at least a 25% drop in revenue from the pandemic. Another tech company is out this week with plans to help vaccinate the public. Salesforce says its vaccine cloud will help government agencies, healthcare providers, and organizations register, schedule, and monitor prospective COVID-19 vaccine candidates. It also assists with vaccine management from logistics to monitoring inventory. 40% of consumers say they plan to shop for apparel in stores either the same amount or less after being vaccinated. First Insight says it's going to take a long time for people to get really comfortable and reacclimated to the way the world was. About a third of the respondents say they're unsure about the COVID vaccine. Okay, would love to know what you think about this one. Kraft released limited edition pink mac and cheese ahead of Valentine's Day. The dish comes with the same cheesy ingredients as usual, along with an additional candy flavor packet that creates the pink color and adds hints of sweet candy flavor. Kraft is giving away 1,000 boxes of its pink mac and cheese in a contest, so you can't buy it in a store. But boy, would you be a lucky one to get that. It sounds just horrible to me. Ugh. Wall Street is reeling from a historic, chaotic trading day. Several otherwise failing stocks have soared, topped by a $200 one-day jump for GameStop. Biggest jump in a week of unanticipated gains. All right, here's News 8's Sarah Hignite. She's looking at the online origins of the changes and why the federal regulators are now getting involved.
The story starts on Reddit. A group called Wall Street Bets that seems to target short sellers shows thousands of people cultivating a plan to drive up the price of GameStop shares.
Retail investors, and specifically young investors, have outfoxed many Wall Street professionals.
They carried out their investments on game trading apps like Robinhood, and the plan worked so far. Many posting their earnings in the group, some making hundreds on the deal, others thousands.
Whether a group of small investors, I mean, we're talking about not much money, coordinating on social platforms, that's a new situation.
Chuck Trzynka, who previously worked for the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, now teaches finance at IU.
What happens is when many of these Wall Street professionals saw the prices go up, they decided to make money assuming it would go down. So they took what's called a short position, selling them and hoping to buy them back at a lower price.
The big question to many wanting to get in on the deal, is this market manipulation or is it just playing the game?
If they could prove in court that somebody coordinated, and then drove the price up and bailed out. That's market manipulation.
The SEC announced that they are launching an investigation looking into the matter, and it's not just GameStop. Similar situations seem to be happening with BlackBerry and AMC stocks, which are also mentioned in the Wall Street Bets Reddit group.
There were 30 stocks that hit their circuit breakers today, and they were all relatively small.
The SEC released a statement on the matter saying, "We are working with our fellow regulators to assess the situation and review the activities of regulated entities, financial intermediaries, and other market participants." I'm Sierra Hignite for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
If the Securities and Exchange Commission rules that the trades amount to market manipulation, those leading the charge could face some large fines. All right, to sports now. Carmel High School is opening sports attendance to more people. Starting Friday, the school's events can host 25% capacity. The move came after Hamilton County improved on the state's coronavirus metric map. School sporting events have rules that are not affected by the governor's restrictions that will loosen next week. School officials say they believe they can keep people safe inside the gym.
Absolutely. It can be done safely. I think all the schools are doing such a wonderful job of enforcing masks, encouraging the social distancing.
That was Carmel's athletic director. He also says it's encouraging to see more people in the stands at the collegiate and professional levels. Colts owner Jim Irsay is looking to the future. He hopes to bring another Super Bowl title to the city. And now he has to find a new quarterback to lead the way. The Colts are planning their next move after Philip Rivers retired. Irsay says Rivers' decision is not a shock, and he is looking for a replacement to stay with the team for a while.
Ideally, if you can get someone to come in this year and several years after who is ready to go, it gives you your best opportunity. We'll just have to see where opportunity pushes us.
Irsay is discussing with fan favorite T.Y. Hilton's his future with the Colts. He says he would love to have Hilton back, but it depends on financial negotiations. All right, to the Pacers now.
Domas comes out and plays that way every night, and it's close to a triple-double probably every night, and that's what he does for our team. And the impressive part about it is how consistent he is doing it.
So that was Justin Holiday, just one of the many teammates gushing about Domantas Sabonis after his stunning return from injury, stinging the Hornets and making team history. Sabonis more than bounced back from the knee problem that knocked him out of the last game. An MRI early Wednesday showed no major problems. Then in the evening, he poured in 22 points, grabbed 11 boards, and handed out 11 assists. The Pacers won 116-106. Sabonis talked about the decision to play.
Our training staff has been great all year. It was a bit sore, it hurt, there was swelling in there, but, they took care of me. I rested, I woke up, slept a lot, it felt a lot better, and then it's just not in me to sit out. I trust my teammates, they took care of business last game, they're playing amazing. I feel like we're playing great team basketball, and I was just excited to finally be out there.
Sabonis now has 6 triple-doubles as a Pacer. That ties Detlef Schrempf for the most in team history. And finally, the theme for the 45th running of the Indianapolis 500 is Race Day. The medals for both the half marathon and the 5K feature the checkered and other colored flags used in the Indy 500. The 13.1 hardware features etched pictures of modern Indy cars. The T-shirts carry the same theme. As of now, the event is still set to take place in person on May 8th. This has been your News 8 Daily for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.